can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Latchford?
Here.
Mr. Priest?
Here.
Mr. Lang?
Here.
Ms. Espark?
Here.
Thank you. The minutes from our first of all, I guess I should start the meeting by just saying I'm glad to be back, at least meeting with this group for the good of the park board or the park department. It's been way too long, and I'm happy to get back to the business of the park department.
I agree.
The minutes from our March 4th meeting have been prepared, and they were presented to us prior to the meeting. Unless there are any corrections or additions, do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move that. We approve them.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, moving right on to old business. Shannon, do you have a Lighthouse Museum project update?
I do. So construction is in progress. They are on schedule.
Oh,
You are mad.
So Shannon, I heard the construction is in progress and they're on schedule. Was there anything added after that?
Completion for mid-fall.
Any questions for Shannon?
No questions. I just noticed that during the winter months with the COVID, as it was, there was little going on down there. But in my wife's and our daily walks around there in the morning, it looks like they're going full steam ahead now. They've done quite a bit of scraping, and it looks like they're well on their way. So that's a good sign.
Absolutely. Thank you. If there are no other questions or comments, we'll move right on to table business. Was there any prior table business, Shannon?
No.
Thank you. Moving on to new business, Michigan City Forester tree planting plan.
So in your packet, you got some maps from the city forester. And she's providing free trees and would like these locations approved so she can continue to plant them.
Thank you. Any questions about the tree planting plan?
No questions here. Looks good.
Shannon, when would the planting take place?
Immediately.
At all parks?
Yes.
Thank you. Does she apply the labor, or is that labor supplied by the park department?
The labor supplied by the forester.
Great.
Benefit to us, no cost to us.
Any other questions or comments? If not, do you have a motion to approve the tree planting plan presented by the city forester?
I so move that we accept the tree planting plan as it was indicated by our forester, Jessica Arnett, PhD.
I would second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The motion carries.
The next item on the agenda was the Swing King placement agreement. And I believe, Shannon, correct me if I'm wrong, that we were just asked to effectively table this until next year. So unless there's any objection, do we have a motion to approve to table this item till next year?
I so move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The motion carries.
All right, next item is the agreement for services of golf professional. Shannon, you'd like to give us some background on this, please?
In years past, we always had an agreement with our golf pro. In 2016, we changed that to a revenue policy only. And the city attorney And the city controller's office has requested that we put this back into a contractual form. This is in essence the same contract that was executed in 2016 with the paragraph requiring a PGA license removed at this point.
Thank you. The reason we removed the paragraph for the PGA license was twofold. One, the current professional currently does not have his license, and it's highly unlikely that he would be able to obtain it for the rest of during 2020. So, seeing where we are in the season, it didn't make sense to have that requirement, have him be out of compliance with the contract right out of the gate. And there's really not enough time to search, nor do we really want to search for another golf pro at this time. We thought between now and the end of the year, we will look into and consider whether we want to keep the PGA license requirement in future contracts or just leave it out. So for right now, it's out of the contract, and that would allow the current professional, Chris Magnuson, to continue in his role throughout the rest of 2020. Any other questions or comments in regard to the agreement for the golf professional?
Yes, on page 4, I would suggest that we remove attention, Jeremy, who's the superintendent, and just, I guess, have it come to this office. Or attention Shannon, or I don't know, but that should be struck out.
Right?
I would think that probably would go through Shannon then.
That's fine, I'll change it on the signature copy.
Any other questions or comments?
Other than that, everything looks like it's in order.
All right, do we have a motion to approve the agreement for the services of the golf professional with the noted change in the attention of on page 4?
I so move that we accept the agreement with the change being made, the attention to Shannon Eason, and I believe that would probably encompass everything we need in order to have that agreement. So yes, I second. I will make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
And next on the agenda is the work from home policy. Shannon?
The next 2 items on your agenda are policies that were adopted by the Board of Works due to the pandemic situation. We try to keep our policy handbook in line with the city's. We did use this policy, even though it has not been approved by the board due to the governor's stay-at-home order. So at this time, we just like formal approval to add it to our handbook.
Thank you, Shannon. Any questions or comments from the board in regard to the work from home policy?
Are we taking just work at home, or are we also doing the communicable disease?
We can put them together unless someone objects.
We might as well put both of them together because they're indicative of what is happening right now with the COVID-19. And so I think we can take and put them both together.
All right. Shannon, has no other comments on the communicable disease policy?
No.
Okay. Unless there are any other questions or comments, do we have a motion to approve the work from home policy and the communicable disease policy?
I so move that we approve both the work from home policy as well as the communicable disease policy, if I can say the word.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Next is the IDEM contract for the 2020 water quality testing and notification. Shannon?
This is our annual agreement with Indiana Department of Environmental Management to test bacteria levels on our beaches and to notify the public with those test results. The contract is the same as last year's, with the exception of the date changes and the amount. This has already begun. We started water testing on May 16th. So we're kind of going after the fact to sign the contract, which I am approved of because of the pandemic.
Thank you, Shannon. Any questions?
I just have one question. Realizing now that the situation is different because of the COVID-19 situation, and realizing that there are not any lifeguards on duty, on page 17, it says when the beach is open for swimming, there will be posted water quality is good. And that posting is that as people come into the parking lot, or is that on the beach proper?
There are 6 locations this year where signs are posted. So the entry drive to the park, there's 2 on the beach in front of the north wall of the main lot, 1 at the Senior Center, 1 at California Ave's beach entrance, and 1 at Beach Walk.
Okay, great. I also have one other question, Shannon. As has been the case in the past, if it's a really wavy day, there were red flags flying from the lifeguard station. And without the lifeguard station being utilized right now, is someone still going to put those flags, or will there be signs as people come in to say, water, there's a danger in swimming, please do not enter the water? Is there going to be, will there be red flags there as there have been in the past?
There will not. So, speaking with the fire department's beach safety team, we've decided that we don't want to fly red flags because we have no one assessing the water quality. The lifeguards did that on an hourly basis. And my fear is if there's not a flag flying, people will assume the water conditions are safe to swim in, and that may not be the case because we have no ability to assess it. So this summer, we are not posting flags. We are only posting water quality notification signs.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Swim at your own risk signs all over the park.
Right, I understand that. Okay. Again, thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome.
Any other questions in regard to the contract? Shannon, you mentioned there was one change in the price. Did it increase, decrease?
Went down because we don't do the turbidity testing we used to do for, I don't know if you remember the model that we used to input data into. The buoys are down this year, so we have no ability to collect the other data to complete the model. So we just drop the turbidity. It's an extra expense. We don't have any data this year.
Thank you, Shannon. And not to get too far off the subject, but why do we have the problems with the buoys this year?
The buoys don't belong to us. So there was some mechanical failure that happened, it was actually 2 years ago, and they've been kind of failing on data collection since then. So I don't know if the National Weather Service has plans to replace Michigan cities, but at this time we can't get any data from it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So unless there are other questions or comments, do we have a motion to approve the IDEM contract for the 2020 water quality testing notification contract?
I so move that we approve the water quality testing as indicated in the professional services contract.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The motion carries.
All right, next on the agenda is the Park Department 2020 first quarter report. Shannon, any comments?
Well, there's not a lot to it this year, as you can see. We had quite a few employees that were out on furlough. It pretty much just outlines all the COVID orders that were in place, and what little information we could get from the directors that were working. Later under the superintendent's report, I will give a report of furloughed employees when they were put on furlough and when they returned. So our second quarter report will contain much more information.
Shannon, I want to thank you for posting the pictures of the mats. I haven't been down there, but the pictures are very impressive. Those of you, when you get home tonight or after the meeting, take a ride down there and look at these mats that have been installed. There's two places, Shannon, there where they've been installed.
Yes, California Ave and Louisiana Ave, and then we'll continue with Georgia and Illinois. Those should be done by this Friday, close of business.
There.
And just to remind everyone, those were funded by Lake Michigan Coastal Grant.
Yes, and good job on working on that. That's outstanding.
I'm sure they'll be well received. I did have a brief conversation with Shannon this morning in regard to the capital projects and equipment. I'm sure you all noticed that there was quite a few projects that were listed in the report that have been delayed since we don't have the funding available for 2020. And Shannon assured me that she is ready to go in terms of reprioritizing the list and having the list for 2021 ready to go. So as soon as funding is available, we will be able to react.
Shannon, on the recreational department thing, are we being the park department, are we going to have youth baseball?
We are not.
No.
Youth baseball has been canceled for 2020.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments? I know our tradition is to table this to the next meeting, but considering the content and the unusual circumstances, is there any objections just to approve this report tonight? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the 2020 first quarter report?
I move that we, at this time, approve the Park Department's 2020 first quarter report.
Second.
I'll second that, or Phil, if you wish to do that.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The motion carries.
All right, moving right along, we're up to the approval to waive fees for reservations moved to 2021 due to the pandemic. Shannon?
Yeah, so we had 4 reservations at Memorial Hall in 2020 that had to be canceled due to the governor's order. They moved their reservation to 2021. However, there's a $50 fee increase in 2021. So I think it's reasonable to ask the board to waive that $50 for those 4 rentals. It was through no fault of their own that they moved the reservation.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly.
Any other questions or comments?
My only comment is that I'm grateful that they chose to reschedule with us. So I'm certainly in agreement of waiving those fees, and I would make a motion to that effect.
If there are no other questions or comments, what's the pleasure of the board?
I so move that we approve to waive the fees for reservations that were moved from 2020 to 2021 due to COVID-19. And specifically, we're waiving the increase in fee that they would incur.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Next on the agenda is the Republic Services Agreement. Shannon?
So this is a reduction in service for collection of the trash in the dumpsters at the golf course. We're looking through our budgets line by line as we do. And This will represent a significant savings, close to 50% of what we paid last year, and it's deemed unnecessary to keep the contract as is, so Randy'd like to reduce it.
Thank you, Shannon. Any questions or comments?
Well, I would think Randy ought to have a pretty good handle on what is needed out there. So I would say it's a pretty good idea, and we could save that much money.
Shannon, are we currently out of contract, or we have any agreement with Republic Services for the golf course?
We do. So this is just a proposal which they agreed to reduce that contract amount. We're working on the same thing with Patriot Park right now. So a lot of our contractual partners are really working with us to reduce expenses because of the pandemic. So I appreciate that everyone's like working together and understanding that financially we can't pay for services that we're not getting.
So, Shannon or Nelson, will there be official termination of the existing agreement? Or how do we transfer a bridge from the current agreement to this new agreement?
Now, I'm not sure if we just sign this proposal.
Mr. Latchford, can you please repeat your question? I was having a hard time hearing.
Sure, I'll speak up as well. We currently have a contract with Republic Services. This proposal here changes that contract and reduces our needs, and therefore they reduced our rate. But I didn't see anything in here that necessarily terminates the existing agreement and replaces it with this agreement. Or I didn't see that this is an addendum to the current agreement. So I'm just wondering, how do we bridge from the original agreement to this agreement?
No, yeah, I think you make a good point. We need to make it clear that it is either an addendum or that the previous agreement is no longer in effect. And that language needs to be put in the original agreement before it's signed.
All right.
I can send that out tomorrow. The original agreement.
So Nelson, can you handle the legalities and making sure that we're released from the original agreement?
Yes, we can. What we can do is, in the new agreement that we have, we could put a clause in there clarifying that the original Republic Service Agreement, from whatever date that was, is no longer in effect, and that we are abiding only by the new Republic Services Agreement with the new terms.
Okay, then we'd have to wait for Republic to actually accept that before it becomes binding.
Correct.
All right.
I would recommend that, though, because you're right. We want to be completely clear in which agreement is governing.
All right. There's one other item. If we're going to be making adjustments to the agreement, it's the term. I would like to strike everything after the first sentence, and all that does is strike all the language in regard to automatic renewal after this contract terminates. If you can, if you recommend that would be appropriate. I just hate, it has an automatic renewal for 3 years. And if you keep reading on the rate adjustments, they list 30 different reasons why they can increase the rate at their own discretion. I just don't feel comfortable agreeing to a 3-year agreement with that sort of, gives them that opportunity to increase prices without our consent.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Okay, so it's just under the term. Anything after the first sentence, I'd like to be stricken, and we can initial or do whatever to make that happen. And you can make sure, Nelson?
Yeah, I think we can. I think we could take care of all of that. Shannon, what kind of time constraints are we in with this agreement? Do they need something right away?
No, they've already reduced their services for us.
Right, but do they need the signed contract now, or do we have some time to talk to them about some of these things?
Yeah, I think we can put it on our next scheduled agenda.
Okay, I think that would be best. Is we make these changes to the agreement and then communicate that with them. And then hopefully they're in agreement with us, and then we can bring it back to the board to finalize it.
Okay, so you recommend we table this rather than approve it with?
I would.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions or comments? If not, do we have a motion to table the public service agreement?
I so move that we table the agreement with Republic Services until our next meeting.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The motion carries.
And Nelson, thank you in advance for helping us out with this. Next on the agenda is the Running Wild for the Zoo event. Shannon?
This is our annual event that Johnny Stimley puts on. The proceeds benefit the zoo. He did get Board of Works approval at their June 15th meeting for the street closures. And the only change this year is typically after the race, we would allow all the participants free entrance to the zoo. In lieu of that, because of our scheduled time tickets this year, we'd like to just give them a comp pass that's good, not for the day of the race, but any day after for the rest of the season, as long as they call in reservations.
Thank you, Shannon. Any questions or comments? My only comment would be that's a very reasonable accommodation, so whoever thought of that, kudos to them. And then also, I've participated in this race a few times. It's a fun event, and I would recommend if anyone, even if you show up to volunteer or to walk, it's a good day down at the lakefront and the zoo. Any other questions or comments in regard to the race? If not, what's the pleasure of the board?
Phil, I have just a question about after the race, where they're going to congregate across the street or from the zoo. How is that going to work? As far as
historically, you're exactly right. They congregate there and they pass out their awards. I think the state allows unlimited, or on their timeline for reopening the state. I think that's appropriate because it's unlimited, I believe, after July 4th. So at that point, it's up to individual discretion in regard if you want to participate or if you feel comfortable participating in the festivities afterwards. At least that's my opinion. I haven't talked to Johnny Stimley at all, if he's making any other changes. Shannon, any input or any?
The only change I'm aware of is he is limiting participants to 250 this year, which complies with the current governor's order.
All right, any other questions or comments? What's the pleasure of the board?
I would move that we approve the Running Wild for the Zoo 2020 event.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is use of Memorial Hall for city meetings. Shannon?
Yes, Mayor Perry and his staff has requested the use of the hall for all city meetings. Part of the reason is it's hard to control the meeting rooms in City Hall that are on 2 floors and keep things sanitized. So their thought was Memorial Hall could be used upstairs only, it's ADA accessible, block off the downstairs, and it'd be easier to control the sanitation in between the meetings. That does work with our schedule if they're only using it Monday through Thursdays, which they've agreed to ask the different boards and commissions to adjust their schedule until further notice. So if the board approves, they allowed us to hire 2 additional custodians out of a COVID-19 emergency fund. that the controller has. So there's no cost to our department for the labor hours. We would do one setup Monday morning for the largest weekly meetings, and then every other group would have to adjust to that setup. IT is currently trying to get communication lines there, so we would have microphones and ability for Alto to videotape the meetings. And that's pretty much where it's at right now.
Thank you, Shannon. Any questions or comments?
Well, I don't think it's important. The cover page has going from City Hall to City Hall, but after you turn the page and get into the meat of this request, it clarifies and is very clear about using Memorial Hall.
Any other questions or comments?
Everything looks in order.
Shannon, did you say all meetings will be moved to Memorial Hall?
All city meetings, yes, so all boards and commissions.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
If there are no other questions or comments, do we have a motion to approve the use of Memorial Hall for all city meetings?
I so move that we okay the meeting site as being Memorial Hall for probably the rest of the summer.
I would
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, next on the agenda is the custodian job description title change. Shannon?
This is in regards to the city meetings at Memorial Hall. We're simply adding to the title, city meeting host and sanitation of buildings due to COVID-19 pandemic before and after all city-sponsored meetings. This will allow us to pay the custodian positions out of the COVID-19 relief fund and not our operating budgets.
Thank you, Shannon. Any questions or comments?
I didn't. Are we just going on the pay scale that we've already agreed on?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, thank you.
It's nice to know here in the note that the cost will be paid for out of the COVID-19 relief fund and not the park department budget. That's a positive.
Unless there are any other questions or comments, do we have a motion to approve the title, job description title change for the custodians?
I so move.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Item M on the agenda is the NSA BPA MOU addendum. Shannon?
The agreement that the park board approved for 2020 called for a $10,000 payment from the LaPorte County Commission and Visitors Bureau. However, they have lost 12 tournaments due to the pandemic. So thank you, Nelson, for drawing up an addendum. They have offered a $5,000 payment to try to finish out the season at Patriot Park. And that addendum is before you for approval.
Thank you, Shannon. Any questions or comments?
If for some reason, and obviously the reason would be the COVID-19, they're unable to play or use that $5,000 for maintenance of the field, would we just give it back to them?
I would imagine they would have to come and ask us for relief, and then we'd have to approve that relief. But Nelson, is that what?
Yeah, I don't think there is any anything like that in the agreement. Oh, well, I know there's not anything like that in the agreement, but in case that does happen, we are under no obligation to have to return, that consideration money that's been paid. But obviously we'd have that conversation we're all wanting to work together in this. And quite frankly, I think one of the tournaments is already set. Correct me if I'm wrong, Shannon, but I think they already have one tournament that we know of starting soon. So I think that'll definitely go towards preparing and making sure that the fields are ready. So I can say that for sure there's one tournament going to happen, and I'm hoping that there's more as well.
So the plan right now is to bring the first tournament in June 26th through the 28th, and they are fairly confident they'll be booking every weekend through October to try to catch up.
Thank you, Shannon. And for complete transparency, the original agreement was for $10,000, I believe. And then, so we're taking a 50% reduction.
That's correct.
Right. Thank you. They've been a good partner for a long time. And I think this just shows we're in it together for the success out of Patriot Park. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve the NSA BPA MOU addendum.
I would so move.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The motion carries.
So on the agenda, that was the last item that was listed under new business. However, we did get a request from Mayor Perry in the mail today. No, I'm sorry, received it. I received mine on Monday in the mail. A letter requesting us to consider his appointment and approve his appointment to replace Jeremy as superintendent. And his request specifically, I'll read from the letter. I would ask that you please consider approving my selection as the next park superintendent at your June 17th, 2020 meeting. Thank you for your consideration. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to him. So, one, I believe all the park board members received the applicant's resume, and probably, I'm assuming all the park board members received the mayor's request in the mail. So that's the item now. Might be the appropriate time to consider his request.
Excuse me, Mr. President, park board members.
Yes?
This is Mayor Perry. I've been watching the meeting here at Caleb's workstation. For the benefit of the meeting, I appreciate you addressing this tonight, since it somehow is not on the agenda. I have with me my candidate, Mr. Edward Shin, in case any of you would like to question him or discuss any of his philosophies or credentials. I just wanted you to know that.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Any questions or comments from the park board?
Yes, I think at this time, what is appropriate, since we have not met as a park board face-to-face since the 18th of March, I believe that this is a very, very important decision to choose a new superintendent, and not something to be taken lightly whatsoever. I appreciate Mayor Perry's comments and that letter that he had sent to all of us. At this time, I would like to table this until our next meeting, and because this is a personnel issue, I would also like to recommend that we meet in executive session either next Monday or Tuesday to discuss personnel. That would be in the form of a motion.
I would second that motion by Mr. Lang.
All in favor?
Before a vote is taken, just want to remind the board, the legal statute, just so that you all are aware. Indiana Code 36492, the executive branch of a city is in a position to appoint a head of a department, and then it's up to that particular board to make that approval in a public meeting. Just wanted you all to be aware of that process. Okay, as the executive of the city, the mayor can appoint that position, but then it's up to the board to make sure to basically ratify that decision. I think it's a reasonable request to meet and discuss further, but I just wanted the board to be aware of that particular statute.
I think all of us realize that, and certainly I know the candidate, wonderful man. He has good credentials, but I think that because this is a personnel matter, I would feel better if we could just meet and just discuss a few things, because this is a vote that is going to be extremely important, and this is going to be a person who is going to lead the park department, and this could be for many, many years. And that's the only reason I'm making this comment. It is not an affront to Mr. Shin whatsoever. I've known him for a long time, a super young man. I just want to make sure that everything is followed correctly. And if people have questions for that, I do not think that the public realm is the place to do that.
Oh, you're absolutely right. For a personnel policy decision such as this, you are under every right to have an executive session to discuss.
Nelson, can you add maybe some clarity? Is the park board's authority you say to ratify, if the mayor, and I don't think anyone questions the mayor's authority to appoint whoever he wishes, but then where does that leave the park board? Why are we included in this process?
I guess the best way to answer that is to the board has the ability to take it to a vote to determine whether or not they want to take the executive branch's appointment. It has to be a public motion and approval, and but the code is pretty clear that the executive branch has the authority to appoint. It just needs to be approved by that particular department. I guess to answer your question, it gives you the opportunity to discuss specifically the recommendation for appointment that's been made by the executive branch. Those are my comments at this time. It gives the board an opportunity to comment and to discuss regarding the executive branch's request for appointment.
Okay. Thank you, Nelson.
Excuse me. By asking for this executive session, we are not, well, at least I don't think we are, as a board, vetoing or declining Mayor Perry's recommendation.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Any further discussion? I believe there's a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, Shannon?
Yes, Phil.
Yeah, please go ahead.
What could be a possible site to hold an executive session? I am here in Shannon's office, and as this was brought up, I was kind of eyeballing this, and I can see from where I'm sitting, and there's this wall. You can see where behind Shannon and behind me. But I can see 8 people in this area right here within the social distancing limits. I don't know how many people we would have.
Well, we would have the 4 park board members, Shannon, our attorney, Mayor Perry. We would certainly invite the mayor, and that's off the top of my head, that's the number so that's 7 people at a minimum.
I can see 7 for sure, and 8, and we can move this wall and probably get 2 more people in there.
Okay.
If I could interject, the mayor has opened City Hall up for meetings by appointment only and has made available the 2 conference rooms on the upper floor. And staff members that set these appointments up have been trained how to sanitize the room afterwards. So I could certainly set something up in the larger conference room.
That would suffice.
As long as, I know a vote hasn't been taken yet, but, well, maybe we should wait till the vote and then determine availability, whether it's Monday or Tuesday. And we'll have to determine if the mayor is available and Nelson, if he's available. So are there any other discussion? Shannon, can you call the roll, please? Or just call for the vote, please.
Mr. Lang, I'm sorry, not the roll. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Okay, before we move on then, as long as we're all here, Monday or Tuesday, any preference or availability issues? If we do 5 o'clock?
I don't have any problem with either day.
5 o'clock is fine with me.
I can do 5 o'clock on Monday. On Tuesday, that will be getting close to a planning commission meeting.
Okay. Nelson and the mayor, 5 o'clock, Monday?
I can make that work, yes.
Thank you.
That'll be fine, Mr. President. I would like to say to the president and the board, considering that this item was not on your agenda, I appreciate you addressing it tonight, and I respect your position on this. I look forward to the executive board meeting. Just let me know if you would like to have Mr. Shin there. Thank you.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right. The next item on the agenda is a report of officers. Shannon?
Yes, I'll try to keep this brief. I know it's been a long time since we've met. First of all, I just wanted to report we did have employees that were furloughed, our maintenance supervisor, custodian, payroll clerk, senior center director, both senior center aides. So far, they've all returned to work with the exception of our senior center director and the aides. They are scheduled to come back on June 29th to prepare the center for opening on the 6th. The parking operation, can you guys hear me or is there a really bad echo?
There's an echo, but I can still make it out.
Okay.
Same here.
We opened the parking operation this year with a drive-through sticker distribution, and that was from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Thursday and Friday, May 21st and 22nd. It was very successful. It went very quickly. The wait lines were fairly short. The police chief came out to talk with people, and overall, I think the community was really grateful for a safe way to come out and get their parking sticker. We opened the parking operation in Washington Park on that Saturday, May 23rd, and then we resumed normal office hours at our sticker distribution office on Tuesday, May 26th. This year we do have a new scanning system, which scans the vehicle registrations and automatically populates that data into a database, replacing the lengthy handwritten ledgers that would hold the lines up. So we've definitely increased customer service. We've also installed a point of sale system in Washington Park, so we do accept credit cards finally. We've been tweaking that system. I have a meeting with IT tomorrow, but I think we'll have all the bugs worked out by tomorrow afternoon. The zoo opened this past Monday, June 15th. However, the following facilities are still closed there: the water fountains, wheelchair rentals, stroller rentals, the safari train, the observation tower, the otter tunnel, and the castle exhibits. So those are closed until further notice. Patriot Park has reopened. Our summer adult softball league will be combined with our fall league this year. It'll begin the second week of August with 14 games, which is 2 more than they had last year in the fall. Double elimination tournament at the end. And it was the consensus of the mayor, the park staff, and our concessionaire at Patriot that we would not operate the concession stand in 2020. I would like to bring the concession agreement back to the board later in the year to discuss whether we can give the concessionaire a 1-year extension. This was his final year. So I think that's something fair that we should discuss. The senior center again will open on July 6th. They are meeting with the senior advisory board July 1st to come up with a reopening plan, which I will share with everyone after their meeting. Canceled programs this year included City Kids Day Camp, the Michigan City Youth Baseball League, and our lifeguard program. The majority of our major events have been canceled, which include the Trash and Treasure Sale, Sticker Saturday, the Food Truck Festival, Movies in the Park, Jamming with Save the Dunes, Brew at the Zoo, Pride Fest, the Parade, Fireworks, the Great Lakes Grand Prix, and all municipal band concerts. I will note that the municipal band is working with the LaPorte County Symphony Orchestra to do a small combined concert, and I'll keep you posted with those details. Our volleyball leagues, clinics, and tournaments started back up on June 1st. You go down to the beach, you'll see them down there pretty much every day. The first tournament was this past weekend, and it was successful and had a good turnout. As it's hard to not notice this, phases 1 and 2 of Singing Sands Trail are well into construction right now. They're both on schedule for substantial completion at the end of November of this year. And we talked about the old Lighthouse Museum project. We talked about the beach mats. I do have 2 vandalism reports. On May 13th, someone broke into the Fighters Alley restroom building, scattered trash everywhere, tried to start a fire in the ADA toilet. Total damages $180. And then this past weekend on the 14th, a car crashed into the greenhouse building. There was substantial damage to the vehicle. I inspected the damage to the building itself. It doesn't look substantial to me, but I do have Variant Construction. They've come out to check the structural integrity of the building, as well as provide a quote to replace the stonework that was knocked off. And this will be an insurance claim. So I'll keep you posted as more information comes in on the damage. And that is the end of my report.
Thank you, Shannon. Any questions for Shannon?
I don't have any questions on that. I don't know when to bring this up, but Saturday I was down to the volleyball tournament, and it was well run. I was talking to Ross Balling, who plans all this. The platform where they have their check-in station and their PA system and everything else, he was telling me talk about tearing it down, and he said he was working on getting some companies to support rebuilding that or replacing the damaged part. Has he approached the park board yet?
He has not. So
okay.
Several members of the maintenance staff and myself will be meeting Ross after that next week. There's quite a few boards that are in bad shape that need to be replaced. All the hand railings were removed last year due to safety issues. Ross did indicate he had sponsors, but not if that was volunteer labor or funding. So we're going to meet with him, work out a plan, see what he has in mind. We'll bring that plan back to the park board. We did stress to him that we're in financial dire straits right now, that we really don't have the funding to rebuild that deck this year. So if he can get volunteer labor and monetary donations, that'd be great. We'll partner with him and get that back up to safety standards.
Good, thank you.
Ross did reach out to me and he indicated that he did have some volunteer / sponsors to help rehab / save that structure. So Shannon, I'm sure you'll find out more next week when you meet with him. If there are no other questions, we'll move on to the liaison reports. Ms. Esparro, the Planning Commission?
We have not had a meeting since our last meeting due to COVID, but we are scheduled to meet next Tuesday, so I can report at our next meeting.
Thank you. And Port Authority, Mr. Freeze.
No, I did talk to Mr. Ferguson Sunday, and he doesn't know when they're going to have a meeting.
Thank you. And Zoo Society, Mr. Lang?
Yes, the Zoological Society has not met since the COVID problem became a reality. I would just like to remind everyone that once again, the Zoological Society is sponsoring the Running Wild for the Washington Park Zoo. And that is something that generally is, the participation is very large. A lot of good runners in that. You can pre-register at the zoo. The date for that, again, was, you already mentioned that, is July the 12th, 2020. And it starts at 9 a.m. And that is the run. The walk begins at 9:01 a.m. So just a minute after that. For more information, you can contact Johnny Stimley at 219-229-1567, or you can email him at johnnystimley@yahoo.com. And also a reminder that the Washington Park Zoo is now open. It is open from 10 to 4, and they will let you know around 3 o'clock that 4 o'clock is coming and you need to vacate. Right now, you have to literally make have to register, give them a call, let them know that you're coming. There is a limited number of people at this time at the zoo. But as we go on and as we go ahead with the mayor's request, we'll eventually be able to open that up and go back to full time. So that's where we stand right now. And that's the end of the report for the Zoological Society.
Thank you, Mr. Lang. We'll move on to the attorney's report. Nelson?
I don't have anything to report at this time.
Thank you. Any director's reports tonight, Shannon?
No, sir.
Thank you. And we'll move on to Department of Finances. Ms. Lang.
All righty. Michigan City Park Department claims docket for March the 4th, 2020. Municipal, $58,339.39. Zoo endowment, $438.99. For total claims of $58,778.38. And I so move that we meet that claims docket for March 4th.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion
Michigan
carries.
City Park Department claims docket for April the 1st, 2020. Municipal, $15,263.67. Zoo endowment, $812.32, for total claims of $16,075.99. And I so move that we meet the claims docket for April the 1st, 2020.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Michigan City Park Department claims docket for April the 15th, 2020. Municipal, $20,879.33. Zoo endowment, 0.00. Total claims, $20,879.33. And I so move that we meet the claims docket for April the 15th, 2020.
Second?
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Michigan City Park Department claims docket for May the 6th, 2020. Municipal, $38,155.13. Zoo endowment of $397.40 for total claims of $38,552.53. And I so move that we meet the claims docket for May the 6th, 2020.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Michigan City Park Department claims docket for May the 20th, 2020. Municipal, $39,688.33. Golf petty cash, $1,062. Zoo endowment, $500. For total claims of $41,250.33. I so move that we meet the claims docket for May the 20th, 2020.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Under payroll, payroll number 6, 2020, February the 23rd to March the 7th. The pay date of March the 13th. Total payroll, $42,212.30. I so move that we meet payroll number 6 for 2020.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Payroll number 7 for 2020, March the 8th to March the 21st, pay date of March the 27th. Total payroll, $43,207.54. I so move that we pay this, we meet the payment of payroll 7 for 2020.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Payroll number 8, 2020, March the 22nd to April the 4th with a pay date of April the 9th. Total payroll, $43,855.85. I so move that we meet that payroll number 8.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Payroll number 9, April the 5th through April the 18th with a pay date of April the 24th. Total payroll of $34,251.11. And I so move that we meet payroll number 9.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Payroll number 10, April 19th to May the 2nd with a pay date of May the 8th. Total payroll of $33,495.78. And I so move that we meet that payroll number 10.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Payroll number 11, May the 3rd through May the 16th with a pay date of May the 22nd. Total payroll of $35,492.92. And I so move that we meet that payroll number 11.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Payroll number 12, May the 17th through May the 30th with a pay date of June the 5th. Total payroll, $48,591.36. And I so move that we meet that payroll number 12.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Under gifts and donations, Edgewood Dental LLP Youth Baseball Sponsorship, $350. Phi Delta Kappa Fraternity, Zoo donation, Mary Meska, $50. Mark D. Lauer, Zoo donation, Mary Meska, $200. LaPorte Employment Benefit Fund, Zoo donation, $75. Cool Spring School, Zoo donation, $302. Norma L. Abbey, Zoo donation, Natalie Schultz, $25. I so move that we accept these gifts and donations.
I have a question. Can I ask it at this time?
Certainly.
The gifts and donations of youth baseball sponsorship, since we're not having that, are we accepting that donation?
We are, we have reached out to all the donors this year and gave them the option of a refund or rolling that over to the 2021 youth baseball season.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lang.
No, that's quite all right. Moving on, minor transfers,
Excuse me.
golf fund. Golf
We have
fund.
a motion on gifts and donations, but not a second.
Oh, sorry.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Didn't mean to overrun things. Under minor transfers, golf fund, this is fund 2062.000 in line item 411.013, salaries and wages. This is an increase, $29,422.51. A decrease in line item 411.014, seasonal salaries of $29,422.51. And all we are doing here is moving one item to a different line. There's no increase or decrease in anything. But again, I would recommend and so move that we make this change.
Would second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Under zoo endowment, invoices totaling $2,148.71 were paid to the Washington Park Zoo Society. Hog ring tool, $438.99. Lowe's for paint, peat moss, miscellaneous supplies, $812.32. Material resources, manila rope, $397.40. Meyer glass and mirror, tempered glass, $500. I so move that we take notice of these invoices totaling $2,148.71 that were already paid.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Under Board of Works, invoices totaling $21,122.38 were paid at the Board of Works meeting to Primera Engineers LTD, Singing Sands Trail Phase 1, $1,122.38, and to INDOT Singing Sands Trail Phase 1, $20,000. These were already paid at the Board of Works meeting, but again, I will make the motion indicating that we have approved of this.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Under credit card charges, there are none. And that is the end of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Lang. At this point, if there's anyone from the public that would like to make a comment? Hearing none. Any comments from the board tonight?
My only comment is I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, I think all of us are.
Yeah, it was definitely a new experience, but it was enjoyable to get back and talk about business.
Let's not do this again.
Yeah, you're so right.
I have one other comment. I just want to take just a short time to thank Jeremy Kienitz for his years and years of blood, sweat, and tears, dedication, loyalty, and he poured his heart and soul into the park department, and he was very dedicated to the mission. So I want to thank him and also wish him well in his future endeavor.
I agree. I'll go along with that. I just wish him well and everything that's, hope everything good comes his way.
Right on.
Thank you.
Yep, I feel that same way. Thank you for saying that, Phil.
Any other comments tonight? If not, we have a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Oh, wait, before we do, our next meeting, is Wednesday, July 1st at 5 p.m. location is to be determined depending on if they have Memorial Hall ready to go.
Still
With
second.
that, do you have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, thank you, good night.
Right.
Good night.
Good night.